Hello everyone, welcome to MAYANK LAWHOLIC. In this video, we will be starting the MCQs of International Organization. It's a humble request before we start the MCQ series, please subscribe us. So now let's get started from the question number 1 itself. Question number 1. Who is said to be the father of modern international law? Options are Gentilis, option B Grotius, option B Lauterpacht, option D Thomas Rutherford. Here correct answer is obviously option B, that is Grotius. Grotius is known as the father of modern international law. Now let us proceed to question number 2. Which one of the following jurists has been of the view that international law is not true but positive international morality only, analogous to the rules binding a club or society? Option A Oscar Chester, option B John Austin, option C D Harris, and option D Louis Henkel. Here in question number 2 correct answer is option B, that is John Austin. Now let us proceed to question number 3. International law is option A a body of rules legally binding on states, option B natural law relating to states' behavior, option C law of subordination of states to a world government, option D a code of ethics providing directive principles of states' behavior. Here correct answer is option A. International law is a body of rules binding on states. Question number 4. Who said that international law is the vanishing point of jurisprudence? Option A Austin, option B Salmond, option C Holland, and option D Oppenheim. Here correct answer is option C, that is Holland. International law is the vanishing point of jurisprudence said by Holland. Question number 5. Which one of the following scholars considered international law as a true law? Option A Grotius, option B Hobbes, option C Holland, and option D Austin. Here correct answer is option A Grotius. Grotius considered international law as a true law. Question number 6. The best evidence for the existence of international law is that every state recognizes that it does exist and that it is itself under obligation to observe it. This statement was made by option A Sir Frederick Pollock, option B Bradley, option C Corbett, and option D Vicious. Here correct answer is option C, that is Corbett. Question number 7. Which of the following scholars considered international law as a true law? Option A Grotius, option B Hobbes, option C Holland, and option D Austin. Here correct answer is option A, that is Grotius. Question number 9. Who amongst the following doubted the legal character of international law? Option A Holland, option C Bradley, option C Lawrence, and option D Hall. Here correct answer is option A, that is Holland. Question number 9. Consider the following statements. International law is not a law at all. Statement second. International law has no judicial system to enforce the law by applying sanctions. Here only 1 is true, only 2 is true, both 1 and 2 are true, and both 1 and 2 are not true. Here in question number 9 correct answer is option B, that is only 2 is true, that is international law has no judicial system to enforce the law by applying sanctions. Question number 10. The expression international law has been introduced by option A Oppenheim, option B Holland, option C Bentham, and option D Hall. Here correct answer is option C, that is Bentham. The expression international law has been introduced by Bentham. Question number 11. Sources of international law. Option A custom, option B treaty, option C general principle of law, and option D all of the above. Here correct answer is option D, that is all of the above. Question number 12. Which one of the following is relatively the most important source of international law? Option A treaties, option B judicial decision, option C custom, and option D the general principles of law. Here in question number 12 correct answer is option A, that is treaties. Treaties are the most important source of international law. Question number 13. Who amongst the following said that usage represents the initial stage of custom? Custom begins where the usage ends. Option A Stark, option B Brierley, option C Hall, and option D Oppenheim. Correct answer is option A, that is Stark. Question number 14. International usage translates into international custom only if followed by the states for a long time. Option B consistently and uniformly followed by the states for a long time. Option C uniformly followed by the states with the belief that states are bound to follow it. And option D, states have the belief that they are bound to follow the usage. Here in question number 14 correct answer is option B, that is consistently and uniformly followed by the states for a long time. Question number 15. Usage represents the twilight stage of custom. Custom therefore begins where usage ends. It is stated by Wolff, Stark, Oppenheim, Lauterpacht. Here correct answer is option B, that is Stark. Question number 16. Who has described international law as positive morality? Option A Holland, option B Austin, option C Stark, option D Oppenheim. Here correct answer is option B, that is Austin. Austin described international law as positive morality. Question number 17. According to Article 38, Clause 1 of the Statute of the International Court of Justice, which one of the following is not a primary source of international law? Option A, international conventions. Option B, decisions of the International Court of Justice. Option C, international custom. Option D, general principles of law recognized by the civilized nations. Here correct answer is option B, that is decisions of the International Court of Justice. Question number 18. International custom is option A, a norm of just cognizance from which no derogation is permitted. Option B, a general practice of state accepted as law. Option C, an international usage. Option D, a general principles of law recognized by the civilized nations. Here correct answer is option B, a general principles of state accepted as law. Question number 19. Ex aequo et bono maxim is related to option A, source of international law. Option B, law of extradition. Option C, law of recognition. And option D, law of succession. Here correct answer is option A, that is source of international law. Question number 20. Norms of jus cogens are option A, created by states in international agreements. Option B, customary rules of international law. Option C, pre-emptory norms of general international law from which no derogation is permitted. And option D, principles of national law binding the states. Correct answer is option C, that is pre-emptory norms of general international law from which no derogation is permitted. Now let us proceed to question number 21. Jus cogens means and includes option A, customary rules only. Option B, general principles of international law. Option C, treaty contracts. Option D, pre-emptory norms of international law which cannot be normally derogated by any state. Here correct answer is option D, that is pre-emptory norms of international law which cannot be normally derogated by any state. Question number 22. An additional characteristics of a norm of jus cogens is that it can be modified only by a subsequent norm or general international law having the same character. Option B, cannot be modified by subsequent norm or general international law having the same character. Option C, can be modified any subsequent or antecedent norm. And option D, is not conditioned by the interest of international community as a whole. Here correct answer is option A, can be modified only by a subsequent norm or general international law having the same character. Now let us proceed to question number 23. Who expressed the view that international law can indeed be described as a law by courtesy? Option A, Brierley. Option B, Stark. Option C, Holland. And option D, Oppenheim. Here correct answer is option C, that is Holland. Holland has expressed the view that international law can indeed be described as a law only by courtesy. Question number 24. Consider the following sources of international law listed in the Article 38 of the Statute of the International Court of Justice. First, international customs. Second, general principles of law recognized by the civilized nations. Third, international conventions. Fourth, judicial decisions and teachings of publicists. What is the chronological order of the above in the Statute of International Court of Justice? Here in question number 24, correct answer is option C, that is 3124. That means that international conventions will come on the first place and international custom will come on the second place, and then general principles of law recognized by the civilized nations will come on third place, and at last judicial decisions and teachings of publicists will come on the fourth place. Now let us proceed to question number 25. International law also develops through state practices. It is known as international treaty, international comity, international customary law, international morality. Here correct answer is option C, that is international customary law. International law also develops through state practice. It is known as international customary law.